inside, and Shota will be the last of 14. And Shota comes up. They're all in line. They're off in the Juvenile Fillies turf. Corretto comes out the best. On the inside, Lake Victoria is going to be a part of the early pace. Thought Process is right there on the outside, and Kilwin is showing speed today. And then it's Heaven's Gate in behind them, followed by Totally Justified. And then Abiento to the outside, a little bit wide into that turn. But Thought Process will establish the early lead here. And Kilwin is second to the outside. Corretto is third. Abiento is fourth. Heaven's Gate running along in fifth, 4 lengths off the lead and clear of Vixen. And then comes the big favorite, Lake Victoria. Ryan Moore has her 7 lengths behind at this stage of the race. Totally Justified, Nitrogen next, and to their outside, it's Scythian. Mayday Ready is after that. And then Virgin Colada, Fiery Lucian, and Shota is the trailer. 22.25 was that opening quarter mile as they head up the backstretch. Hector Barrios and Thought Process the leader, out there by a length and a half to Kilwin, Abiento, and to the inside Corretto. Meanwhile, Lake Victoria's down on the inside. She's got 5 lengths to make up, and in behind a wall of horses with Thought Process to catch. Around the far turn they go. Thought Process the leader. Kilwin continues to bear down. Lake Victoria's got her room now. And here she comes as she swings up on the outside. And they're into the stretch. Thought Process bracing for the challenge of Lake Victoria. And Lake Victoria goes right by to take the lead. Fiery Lucy is coming late with Mayday Ready, but she's just too good. Lake Victoria, undefeated, has won the Breeders' Cup. It was Lake Victoria over Mayday Ready. A late run from the maiden Nitrogen, and then Fiery Lucy.
The daughter of the mighty Frankel. She is undefeated, 5 for 5, and now a Breeders' Cup champion, Lake Victoria.
The beauty about a horse being a champion is that it means that at some point they have to overcome adversity, and she has done that today. She wasn't best away from the start. Ryan had to ride her pretty hard to get a pretty decent position, and then she needed a little bit of luck coming off the turn. But her attitude and the way she picked up in the closing stages, those are the definitions of being a champion.
Let's pick up the replay here, and we have a couple different angles to show you, and look how proud she is of herself too. Finishing full of it today. Lake Victoria over Mayday Ready, Nitrogen, and Fiery Lucy. So here she is on the right, getting that cover that you would want. Rishi, she did end up shuffled back a little bit, but still a comfortable trip, I think, from off that pace.
Yeah, it was a comfortable trip once she settled into her position. The first part of the race was quite hard. But the beauty about her is she's a very honest filly. And as soon as Ryan Moore is squeezing her and asking her to do things, take the gap, take the position, switch leads in the straight, and level off, and her response from here to the line is hugely impressive. And it encourages you to think what she's going to be able to do next year, having won 3 Group 1s this season and made huge progress in a relatively short space of time.
I mean, in reality, I know he did have to ask her a little bit early, but this is the perfect trip that you want here at Del Mar. You're able to save ground throughout, and then at the top of the stretch, it was like this door opened, and he could easily guide her to the outside of horses, and then she was able to show that devastating turn of foot that we've seen before in Lake Victoria. Certainly impressive. One of these days we have to talk to Ryan Moore and pick his brain in terms of the qualities of a horse that is suitable to the U.S. because he was spot on with Lake Victoria.
She blew right on by Thought Process today. Thought Process on the lead. I mean, the fractions were pretty quick, but she did establish that position, I think, by design. They sent her out. Yep. Nobody else was really quick enough to clear into that first quarter, so she ended up on the lead. Yeah,
I was disappointed to see her on the lead, in all honesty. I would like a horse like Thought Process to have had a target to aim at in the straight as opposed to being the target. Frank Dettori's horse, Mayday Ready, has run huge. Yeah, she has run huge.
Man, this is a horse of a lifetime, though, for Joe Lee. Joseph Lee, the trainer of the 12 Mayday Ready. She has been an overachiever, and the fact that she could finish second in the Juvenile Fillies turf, I would say they are very proud of her with this effort.
And a special one for Frankie, having ridden her dam as well.
Absolutely. He rode her down for Jeremy Nacida back in the day, and of course Jeremy Nacida has had his Breeders' Cup winners in the past, the likes of Wilco, etc.
So Lake Victoria just too good for Coolmore, the daughter of Frankel, a perfect 5 for 5 here. Aidan O'Brien on the board in the Juvenile Fillies. Mayday ready, flying finish to be second under Frankie Dettori for Jolie. Nitrogen at a big price for Mark Cassie and Jose Ortiz. I think she was the one that dove to the inside for that spot.
Yeah, Fiery Lucy has run on very strongly. And again, the contours of this track, the speed of the race, the ground really suited her today. And she's beaten Heaven's Gate, who we spoke of beforehand, having beaten her in their 2 previous runs. Her trainer, Gavin Cromwell, was spot on, just like Ryan Moore was, that this race was going to suit that filly.
Well, the ladies did not disappoint. The favorites connecting here, Immersive and Lake Victoria in the Juvenile and the Juvenile Fillies turf. Still to come, the Colts and Geldings have their opportunity as the Juvenile is up next.
FanDuel is proud to be the official wagering partner of the Breeders' Cup and sponsor of the FanDuel Breeders' Cup Juvenile, presented by the TAA. Watch racing year-round on FanDuel TV and wager on all the races with FanDuel Racing. Make every moment more with FanDuel. For the second year in a row, Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel was voted Best Casino Outside Vegas in the USA Today 10 Best Readers' Choice Awards. For more information about the casino, resort, or spa, visit yamava.com. Maker's Mark wishes you luck today and invites you to try a Del Mar Daisy made with Maker's Mark bourbon and visit Plaza de Mexico to learn about the Maker's Mark Breeders' Cup private selection. At Maker's Mark, we make our bourbon carefully. Please enjoy it that way. Yeah, now entering the winner circle is the official winner of today's John Deere Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf, number 1, Lake Victoria. The 2-year-old bay filly by Frankel from Quiet Reflection by Showcasing. Lake Victoria was bred in Ireland by Coolmore and is owned by Michael Tabor, Derek Smith, and Mrs. John Magnier. The winning trainer is Aidan O'Brien. Ryan Moore's the winning jockey.